What if I told you that this team didn't collapse because of bad players, bad luck, or even bad coaching? What if the real reason was hidden behind the scenes, buried beneath headlines, interviews, and excuses? From the outside, they looked unstoppable. Fans believed they were building a dynasty. Experts predicted championships. Yet within a surprisingly short period, everything fell apart. The victories disappeared, the chemistry vanished, and the organization that once seemed destined for greatness became a shadow of itself. Today, we're uncovering the hidden reason this team collapsed, and the truth is far more shocking than most people realize. Welcome back to HoopNexis, where we dive deep into the biggest stories, mysteries, and turning points in basketball. Some teams lose because they simply aren't talented enough. Others are defeated by stronger opponents. But every once in a while, a team falls apart for reasons that aren't visible on the court. The story we're exploring today is one of ambition, pressure, ego, and decisions that slowly destroyed a promising future. Let's take a closer look at how a team that seemed to have everything suddenly lost it all. First, everything appeared perfect. The roster was stacked with talent. Young stars were developing rapidly, veterans provided leadership, and management seemed committed to building a contender for years to come. Fans packed arenas, merchandise sales soared, and the media couldn't stop talking about their potential. Every game felt like another step toward greatness. Success, however, can sometimes create problems that aren't immediately visible. Winning brings attention, and attention brings expectations. The more successful the team became, the greater the pressure grew behind closed doors. Players who once focused only on improving their game started dealing with increased media scrutiny. Every mistake became a headline. Every disagreement became a story. Every setback was analyzed endlessly. One of the first warning signs came when personal goals began competing with team goals. During the early stages of their rise, players sacrificed individual statistics for the greater good. Everyone understood their role. Everyone bought into the system. But as the spotlight intensified, priorities slowly changed. Star players wanted larger roles. Younger players wanted more recognition. Veterans wanted security and respect. These desires weren't unusual, but they created tension. What had once been a united group slowly started dividing into smaller circles. Conversations became more guarded. Trust began to erode. The coaching staff noticed the change, but by then the problem had already taken root. Team meetings became less productive. Players questioned decisions more frequently. Minor disagreements that would have been resolved quickly in previous seasons now lingered for weeks. Then came the contract situation. Money has always been one of the most powerful forces in professional sports. When players outperform expectations, they naturally expect compensation that reflects their value. The challenge is that teams operate under financial limitations. Not everyone can receive the contract they believe they deserve. As negotiations intensified, frustration grew. Some players felt underappreciated. Others worried about their future. Rumors spread through the locker room and social media. Fans speculated endlessly about who would stay and who would leave. Even when contract disputes aren't openly discussed, they can influence team chemistry. Players begin thinking about personal security rather than collective success. Instead of focusing entirely on winning, attention shifts toward protecting careers and maximizing value. The team's front office faced difficult decisions. Management believed they were making responsible choices for long-term success. Unfortunately, those choices weren't always understood by the players. Communication became inconsistent. Small misunderstandings turned into major grievances. At the same time, success had created another problem: ego. Confidence is essential in sports. Without belief, athletes cannot perform at the highest level. But there is a fine line between confidence and ego. The very qualities that helped the team reach the top eventually became obstacles. Players who once accepted criticism became defensive. Leaders who once inspired teammates became less approachable. Individual brands started becoming as important as team achievements. The media amplified every conflict. A simple comment after a game could generate days of debate. Social media clips spread rapidly, often without proper context. Fans chose sides. Analysts fueled speculation. What should have remained private became public entertainment. The pressure mounted. Losses that were once viewed as learning experiences became sources of panic. Every defeat triggered questions about leadership, coaching, and team culture. The atmosphere changed completely. Meanwhile, opponents adapted. When the team first emerged as a contender, they surprised everyone. Their style of play was innovative and difficult to defend. But success attracts attention. Rival teams studied their strategies carefully. Coaches developed countermeasures. What once gave them an advantage gradually became predictable. Instead of evolving, the team resisted change. This was perhaps the most important mistake of all. Championship-level organizations constantly adapt. They identify weaknesses before opponents exploit them. They evolve with the league. Unfortunately, this team became attached to past success. They believed the formula that brought them victories would continue working indefinitely. Didn't. As losses increased, frustration intensified. Players blamed systems. Coaches blamed execution.